Hey guys, NeoBrian here.
Zach.
Dapper Looking Gentleman. We're here to do another Grumpy Mechanic video, which hopefully you will see more of the Grumpy Mechanic series soon on Dapper Looking Gentleman's channel coming up. But today, what are we doing today?
Well, we are taking and we're going to change the oil in a generator. What brand of generator is it?
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Now, it seems like they designed this specifically to make people grumpy. It requires that you change the oil, you know, after the first 5 hours of running it. But normally when your power goes out, things are like cold and icy outside.
And when you're in a natural disaster, which is kind of what we ended up with here, that's not always feasible. Because when I came out and started this thing, it was like 7 o'clock in the evening. And yeah, I wasn't going to get my butt out of bed at midnight to come change the oil. So does that make me a bad mechanic?
Maybe.
I'm okay with that. As you can see, there are crews that are out working on getting these telephone poles repaired. Then get those telephone poles repaired and back up, get the lines back on. And that's just right around our house.
The oil we were supposed to change at 5 hours, we're now changing at, what, about 60 hours?
Yeah. It's been running about 60 hours now. Although I did kind of do an oil change yesterday. If the engine is running, don't take off the oil cap. I gotta admit though, it is a pretty simple setup as far as an oil change goes.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit less upsetting. You're probably supposed to use a wrench so you don't mar up the edges of this, but I didn't feel like getting my wrenches out.
Are you saying that because you didn't have to pay for this?
Yep.
I paid for this!
It's fine, just scratching the coating off. That oil is much darker than when we looked at it yesterday.
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But I don't see any metal shavings, so I think we're good.
Which I assume that's the concern and why they want you to change the oil after about 5 hours of running it.
When an engine breaks in, you're going to have bits of stuff that just wear off. They get things off and tolerances are off, and there's burrs and spots, and there's oftentimes bits of metal that you free up when you first run the engine for a little bit. So crank that drain plug back down so it doesn't leak oil out, because the oil is kind of pressurized when the engine's running. As you'll notice, the splatter, that's what happens when you take the oil cap out while the engine's running.
A little splatter. A lot less than ended up on me though.
Oh yeah, no, you are a mess.
The deep grooves you put in there, just line up into those and it should grip fine.
Yep.
I would recommend a wrench if you're doing this job.
Yep. Alright, I think that's had enough. That oil's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Let's get some of the synthetic oil, like we put in your motorcycle.
What's the difference when we use the expensive synthetic oil or just cheap regular oil?
It's got more of a temperature range it's comfortable with. It lasts longer between oil change. And oftentimes it can treat your whole system better.
And the purple tastes like grape. That's a small funnel.
It is a very small funnel.
I think this is going to take a while.
Yep. Unless you have the magic of editing. So we filled it up. There's a little under the 4 ounce mark left because I spilled some. But you should have 28 ounces in it, which is most of the quart. And when it's full, you should see the oil looking right on that bottom of that lip right there.
If there's anything we missed, make sure and put it in the comments down below to help other people if they come to check out this video in the future, if they have this similar setup they need to change. Alright, so I hope you found this video helpful. Any final thoughts?
That's it.
Bye.
Bye.